y'all, welcome back. My name is Jennifer with True to You Yoga, and today's WTH bite is going to be on lengthening and strengthening your hamstrings, and then also your psoas muscle here in the front of your leg. So you may want some blocks for this practice. They can just go right here beside you. You're in tabletop. Bring your right foot in between your hands so your hips are still on that railroad track. Sink forward into your right knee, starting to stretch out your left leg. Really sink into that left hip, bringing your right knee forward. It can go over your toes. That is perfectly fine and acceptable. Take your left toes, tuck them under, engage. Really think about engaging all those muscles in your leg as you straighten your leg, bring your knee up off the floor, and lower it back down. Relax. Big inhale, straighten, engage. Exhale, relax. Big inhale, straighten and engage those muscles. Really pull them, contract them, and release. That is going to help stretch and also strengthen all those muscles in that back leg. So now let's work on our hamstring. We're going to shift our hips back. And let's first give it a little stretch. So flex your foot, toes up towards the ceiling. Keep those blocks there so your back is long. And just kind of bend forward. Your knee can have some bend in it. That's perfectly acceptable. And your booty kind of over your knee. If you're back a little bit more, that's fine. It's just going to give you a little bit of a different stretch in your hamstring. So you can play with that. Sink your hips back some and lift them up and feel that difference. See where your flexibility is right now. Bend that right knee again. Shift your weight forward. Just knee over your ankle. Really root down into the mat with that right foot and think about like you're trying to grip the mat and pull it back towards you. Engage all the muscles in your right leg as you start to lean back, tipping those hips backwards again, straightening your leg, keeping all those muscles engaged, especially that hamstring, until you can't really go any farther without taking your toes off the floor. And then exhale, release forward. Inhale, pull back again. Toes are into your mat, bringing your right hip back, straightening that leg just to the point where you just can't go any farther. And exhale, bring it back, releasing. Let's do it one more time. Root down into your mat again. Shift your hips back, straightening that right leg some. And exhale forward. Now let's sink our hips back, bringing our foot flex towards the ceiling, and see how that flexibility feels now. More than likely, it will feel a little bit better. You'll have a little bit deeper of a stretch in your hamstring and a little more release, just with that tightening and release that we did with each inhale, pulling back, exhale, releasing. So let's make sure we do it on the other side as well, because we would hate to be uneven. So your left foot goes up between your hands. We're going to sink forward into our hips. Sorry, the puppy's scratching. Your knee again can go over your ankle. That's perfectly fine. Really sink as much as you can, dropping that right hip towards the floor. Tuck your toes. Inhale, straighten your back leg. Really engage all those muscles. Exhale, release your knee down to the ground. Inhale, engage and straighten. Really think about pulling back with your right leg and pulling forward with your left. Exhale and find a little bit more length. One more time. Inhale, engage and straighten. Keep your belly button lifted up. Exhale and release. Untuck those right toes. Shift your hips back and straighten your left leg some. Doesn't have to be all the way straight. Toes up towards the ceiling. Spine is long. And again, you can kind of raise and lower. You can sink your hips back more. You can have them more over your knees. Feel the difference in it. Feel where it starts to become a little bit sticky for you. And then let's go into that contraction and release on our left hamstring. So walk your hands forward a little bit. Your knee is over your ankle. Root down with those big toe, little toe, your heel. Really grip the floor, pulling up with that instep of your foot. Engage all these muscles in that left leg. Really think about finding that engagement. Inhale, sink your hips backwards, keeping your left foot on the floor. Strengthen your leg just as much as you can before those toes come up. And then exhale, release forward. Inhale, engage everything. Think about like you're trying to really pull this mat back, and you're trying to pull your right hip forward. Really engage, nice and slow as you go back. Exhale, release. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, hips shift back. Engage all those muscles. Really think about pulling. That will help you engage them. And exhale, release. And then just sink your hips back again, foot flexed. See how your flexibility feels a little bit now. If it seems different than it did before. With your bottom back more, with your bottom up more. See if you found some release. And that's a couple ways just to start with that contraction and release to find the tension release in your muscles. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below. I would love it if you would like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. May you always stay true in your intentions, true to your heart's desires, be loving truth to those around you. Love ya.